lunch and what the system but please don't pay for lunch. So you probably won't need to go there by yourself, but on Thursday we have some laboratory demonstrations and continue that way. Table. So this is a copy of this should have been a big image, but for whatever reason it decided not to work. Today, presentations all day. We've got Hugh Piggott this morning. Have much time for it, so it's going to be, everyone has got a number on the sticker. This number is the order in which you'll be presenting. So please take a little bit late today for the strike, so it's important to be on time for lunch. The maintenance working group. So I'm going to talk a bit more about the working group structure in a bit, but I'm going to carry on past that for the moment. Tuesday is also working group presentations, and then a small group session in the afternoon where we're getting together and sitting around the table and discussing about how we can work together in our working groups. This evening we do have public lectures on, which are open to anyone here in Athens that wants to come and attend. So we'll have Aaron, Kostas and Jay talking about why electrify areas with small wind, what side of how you design, install and maintain small wind systems. So you're all welcome to attend the public session, and it will be in here straight after dinner. On Tuesday evening we have a board meeting. So this is for people that have been involved with organising wind empowerment and those who would like to be involved with organising wind empowerment. So it is an open board meeting. Anyone that would the newly registered are needed. I will be hoping to appoint people to these positions. So if you'd like to fill one of these positions, please come on Tuesday evening. Wednesday we have a field trip. The field trip is to the NTUA test site in Rafina, and we will be meeting here. The bus leaves at 9:30. So again, Each day we'll be having breakfast in the cafeteria. We'll be meeting over there. We'll be collecting whenever you feel like arriving between 8 and 9, and there will be free breakfast provided there, and then we'll all be coming over here together around 10 to 9 to start for 9 here. Wednesday evening, Wednesday afternoon, we have the poster and technology exhibition, which in fact will be going on all day whilst we'll be going around the test site. So those of you that are exhibiting posters, we've printed them all, assuming that you sent them to us, and they will be exhibited on Wednesday. Wednesday evening is free time, so Athens is a world-famous city. Please get together with some of your colleagues and go and explore. Thursday, we have some laboratory demonstrations and software tutorials, where we'll be splitting down into smaller groups between here and the fluids lab. We also have a software tutorial from the Polytechnic University of Catalonia in the afternoon. And Matteo Renabolda, would you like to just stand up so people can see who you are? Matteo will be installing some software on the laptops of people who have bought them. How many people have bought laptops with them? Great. How many people have Windows on their laptop? Okay, that's enough. So if you ever see Matteo during the week and he's looking like he's not doing anything, please go and badger him and say, please can you install the software on my machine. In the meantime, Matteo is going to be going around in each presentation seeking out one person that he hasn't yet pestered and installing the software on their machine. There's also an Arduino IDE software that needs to be installed for the data logger workshop, so at the same time he'll be installing that one. And then this software obviously is free to use afterwards. On Thursday afternoon, we've got the small group sessions. So again, this is back into the working groups. And Thursday evening, we have a public session in the centre of Athens. So we have another distinguished speaker, Michelle Bowens from the Peer-to-Peer Foundation, who will be talking about distributed energy for a fair and sustainable distributed economy and society. So this one will be something completely new, and anyone from here who is interested in seeing it, we will arrange for taxis to come here after dinner and take you to the centre of Athens. But equally well, if there's anything else that you would prefer to do, then please, by all means, you're welcome to go and explore the city. On Friday, we've got a feedback session. So during these working groups, you'll hopefully be deciding on how you could collaborate together in the future. And this will be presented at the end of the week, because the vision we have for the working groups is that not only is it something that we're doing during the conference, but also it's a way that we can continue to work together and collaborate beyond this week. And on Friday afternoon, we've got a field trip to Marathonis to go and see some small wind installations. Again, the bus will pick us up from here at lunchtime. So with the working groups, each working group has a coordinator. They should have been in touch with you by email beforehand, and these people will be making sure your presentations work on the computer and will be coordinating the small group sessions throughout the week. So I'm going to go through each working group, and if the coordinators for that working group could stand up and introduce themselves as I put the slide up on here. So first of all, we've got the measurement working group. And Raphael Oliver over here. So these two guys will be talking about how we measure the wind resource and how we measure power production. Market assessment and delivery models. So we know small wind is a niche technology. How do we find out where it can work and how we can make it work on a social and economic level as well as a technical level? So Aaron Eels. And we have Zoe Ben. Education. We all know that the Piggott turbine is a great way of sharing knowledge about wind power, but exactly how do we do this? How do we transfer that knowledge from ourselves to the people that want to learn? So coordinating this group, we have Jay, and we have Esteban. Technology. So how do we make these machines more efficient? How do we adapt them to new uses? And how do we make the machines better? We've got Kostas Atufis, who will be coordinating this group, and Luis Lavada. And finally, we've got the maintenance working group. This is the picture that was supposed to be here before, so who knows why it wasn't working. Mysteries of electronic equipment. Maintenance, we all know that small wind turbines are very troublesome pieces of equipment, but how do we create a system that is sustainable, where there's someone that can fix these machines, and how do we stop them from breaking in the first place? So coordinating this group, we have myself, and we have Gail. Okay, so without further ado then, I would like to stop talking and pass over to a much more distinguished speaker, Hugh Piggott. Jessica, where are you? Do we have Hugh online? Yes. Brilliant. So Hugh, unfortunately, is not here with us today. He has decided that he does not want to travel outside of Scotland unless absolutely necessary because of the environmental impact of doing so, and because he's travelled so much. He's over 60 years old now, and he's travelled all over the world. But he really wants to be here and to share experiences with you guys. So he's agreed to speak to us via live link. And Jessica has Hugh in this computer right now.
Yeah.
Okay, John, give us 3 minutes.
He can't really see you. Hold
Okay.
on. Maybe he can.
Does anyone have any questions while I set up Hugh?
Can you go down? Options really quickly so you can.
No, answer questions just from the...
Okay.
So we can
Yeah,
set
one
up.
second.
Any questions, anybody?
I can't even see the dialogue box for the GoToMeeting anymore.
Oh, really? You should be able.
Well, I can try and... okay, it's your screen I've got now. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see? Well, not me anymore. But can you see me now? Whoa. What's
Yeah.
going on? Okay. We figured it out. Okay. Everyone say hi.
Okay.
Okay, I can see. There we go. Yeah. That's as big as it's going
Should
to
we
get.
keep it like this or just look at the presentation? It's good like this, yeah?
Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, definitely start speaking
Okay. Can you start speaking? Or can you do a test run so we can...
Yeah. Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. I'm here. I can't see you, but I don't suppose I ever will.
Is that good, everyone? Yeah?
I did before.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So you can go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
So, yeah, you can see me, right?
Correct. Everything's set up
you can-
perfectly. And we can see your...
Everything's set up. That's great.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's great.
The microphone.
You've got quite an impressive program there, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I haven't managed to see the live stream yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing some recordings of the event, and a lot of good friends there. Hi to everybody. Hope you're getting to know some of each other. I thought probably the best way to, I'm not very good at making speeches, so I thought probably the best thing to do would be to just talk a bit about my experiences on Scorig over the last 35 years, because actually the stuff that you're probably most familiar with, like the most recent stuff, the rest of the book is only part of my experiences with wind energy. And I thought it might entertain you to see some history, so let's see if we can move on. This is a map of Scorig, where I live, for those of you who don't know. It's up in the northwest of Scotland. I suppose the reason I live here is because as a child I spent a lot of time off-grid on the west coast, and it's a very magic sort of place to live. And so I moved here in, I suppose, 1974 or something, and without any particular intention to stay. Been here ever since. Here's a picture of the place where you take the boat across to Scorig. You can see the peninsula in the distance, and these are the sort of boats that we use to get across the water. And moving back in time to 1975, I think I have the ability to doodle on this now. This is my first windmill that I put on the roof of the house. I don't recommend putting windmills on the roof of the house. At the time we didn't have any electricity apart from the 12-volt battery, and just to listen to music. And we used paraffin for lighting, and didn't really see much need for electricity, to be honest, but it was nice to have a means of charging a 12-volt battery. Putting a windmill on the roof was not a good idea. It was very noisy. Even just the very slight roughness in the bearings transmitted through the structure rumbled, and although it was wide open space, you still get quite a bit of turbulence on the rooftop. You're much better off putting it on top of a tower. Well, I was pretty happy with paraffin lighting for a while, but when I had small children around and began to get interested in possibly watching television or just having the convenience of electricity, even for a 12-volt washing machine, I started messing around with trying to build wind turbines, and it turned out to be a lot more difficult than I thought, because, well, they do seem to be quite a tricky technology, as you might have noticed. But I persevered with it, and I managed to get something working, and all my neighbours wanted one too, and so that's how I sort of got into it. If this had been a better place for hydropower, then I'd probably never have got into it. I would probably have got into microhydro, and to be honest, I recommend to you guys, if you do find a site where there's potential for microhydro, you should always recommend that in preference to wind energy, because although wind power is it's sort of glamorous and it's fun and it's a challenge, it's not the easiest way to generate electricity. Here we've got a single-bladed turbine from the early years. I can't claim really ownership of this. I carved the blade for it, but it was my cousin who made it. He figured out that what we needed was the maximum possible speed. Well, I figured this out as well. To be able to generate electricity, we needed the maximum possible speed for the largest diameter rotor, and what that boils down to is a high tip speed ratio. And being an engineer, he figured out that we needed a single blade to achieve that, to get the lowest possible solidity. So he did the teetering hinge and the counterbalance weight, and it worked pretty well until he got to a pitch control mechanism, but he could never really get that working right, so we had to abandon it in the end. This one on the right is from 1983. This was when I built quite a few machines at that time, and the furling tail is actually operated by a windscreen wiper motor. So when the battery got up to a certain voltage, then it would actually throttle the tail automatically using a windscreen wiper motor. to flip the top link of the tail hinge over to the other side of the centre of gravity, the other side of the bottom link. So these are some of my early experiments. Well, not experiments exactly, this is what I did in the early years. And I'm having a little bit of trouble moving forward. There we go to the next slide. The big challenge was to find a suitable generator that would work at low speed, and in the end the answer turned out to be a Jeep from a dynamo from an Austin Champ Jeep. Very high quality dynamos designed to work at 24 volts, and they had quite a low cut-in speed, around about 1,000, just under 1,000 RPM. If you modified the field coils to work at 12 volts, you could get a cut-in at about 400, 450 RPM. Which was suitable for a two-bladed rotor about 1.5 to 2 meters in diameter. That could achieve that in about a 4 or 5 meter a second wind speed. Very different scenario from nowadays with permanent magnets, because we have to generate about 30-40 watts of energy just to energize the field coils. And so you could forget about charging in low wind speeds, 3 or 4 meters a second wasn't really on, because you didn't have enough energy then to even energize the field coils. So these were fairly high wind speed machines, but very efficient once the wind got up. We could generate 300 watts of 12 volt power, and we used them basically just for 12 volt lighting, using bulbs out of cars. Listening to the radio, watching 12 volt TV, and as I said earlier, we even modified washing machines to work at 12 volts. Just for the agitation and perhaps operating an electric wringer. The tail furling systems initially were operated by springs, but I found out after a year or two that the springs were generally the first things to fail. So I went to a gravity tail, and I actually went to a pretty sophisticated design, much more sophisticated than what I would use now. The bottom link is a ball joint, simple ball joint, but the top link of the tail suspension was, as you can see on the left here, was a piece of seatbelt webbing wrapping around a cam, and by changing the shape of this cam here, you could alter the angle at which the tail rose in different wind speeds, and so I was able to control the power output in low winds and high winds, and get a very precise control over the power curve, basically.
I think it's the power.
Ah, yeah. The laptop sender.
Well, it doesn't.
Different. I've got a different adapter.
What do you do now?
It does.
I'll give you mine.
Sorry.
Can you see if it's charging?
Yeah, right here.
So it's charging now.
Yeah. Because it'll shut it down. It's not the adapter. It's actually here.
Okay, so if it's charging now, it's fine.
Yeah, it's charging it.
δεις αν έχει μπισκότα, έχει καλό τραπέζι. Έχει μπισκότα, καλό τραπέζι. Έχει μπισκότα, καλό τραπέζι. Να τα πάρεις πάνω για να κάνεις. Βγάλε 3 κουτάκια πάνω.
You were like, are we going to that? Yeah. Like, in your first to the people, I still don't have a flight back. But, yeah, well, it's because I have on my wrist computer, and it's been drawing, so trying to get the email stuff, and I finally got that, and then oh, yeah, I think so. Oh, I hope so. I think so. Because it's the Wi-Fi is too long. And so I have to do the same process? Like, it should already automatically be on? Yeah? Automatically? I don't have to put password? It's his fault. He's like, oh, what is this person? I don't even have the freaking thing. Okay. You're right. I don't know what. It's not working. going. Maybe you just probably need to stay right there. Stay right there. Don't move.
Make it
It's okay.
make it fit that
You're the man. You can do that. Can I start? Because we need to continue that. Yeah. It's not? Oh, yeah.
Feels very nice.
He's like, uh-oh. I know. It's when everything was running so smoothly.
Yeah.
We're getting it. We're getting it. Taking a little longer than expected, of course. One time this happened to me, we turned it back on, and it continued like nothing ever happened. It was perfect. Of course, today.
Yeah. How did you share the presentation? How did you share the presentation after the share? Yeah.
Oh, because this program, it's like I'm talking to you. It's like a live thing. And so sharing is easy. Oh, you won it.
No. How did you share this? No, how did
Can you hear us?
There is one other caller on a call.
We're back. I'm so sorry. The computer lost power. You can't hear me.
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
The computer completely
Okay.
just shut down.
Right.
Of course it would happen. And we just went on a quick break. How long has it been? It's been about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to gather people around. And hostess remembers the flight. It was very unfortunate, but we have it up and running. And of course, usually when it shuts down, you can pick it up again. But this time, of course, it didn't. So I had to restart everything. So we got it working.
Okay. Hi, you. What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm not sure where I got to when it actually shut down.
Okay, you were talking about the furling system with the belt, and you could
Oh yeah. Okay.
you could reconfigure the angle, yeah. So that's as far as we went. So now
Right.
we decided to have this break, 15-minute break, and then maybe pick it up from when you left. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I'm sorry for that.
So I mean, that's okay. Are you still on the break, or what's happening?
How much longer is the break?
Yeah, I think we've got maybe 5 minutes more. Is that all right?
Okay. So I can go and get a coffee.
Yeah, you can have a coffee break too.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yep.